Hi, I'm Jason of Minsan Studio and Livecatch, and I just wanted to share with you a little behind the scenes on how we do audio capture here at Minsan Studio. So we actually just got these three microphones. We wanted to show you these. So this is the Electro Voice ND96. So if you'll notice, it's actually a flat capped one. What you'll notice with this is it has very high off-axis rejection, pero minsan tunog siyang ngongo. So it's a little trade-off. But we like it especially for those who don't sing loud or those who are drummers. So that's why we have another one there at our drum set. For those who sing and play drums, it captures a little less of the drum set and more of the actual sound of your voice. So here's a really quick sound check. So it's going through our monitor here. Check, hey, sound test. It's a little ngongo, parang may konting filter. So you can usually just EQ that out a bit. This one is what most people use. I believe Monty of Mayonnaise uses this exact mic. So this is the Telefunken M80. It's really, really good for vocals. It's probably the best mic we have. We recommend it for any musician, especially those who want to level up their sound. So a quick sound check. Hey, sound check. Test 1, 2, sound test. Aside from having excellent off-axis rejection, meaning hindi niya sagap yung environment as much or bleed as much, it also has a really good sound in general. It's very transparent, meaning lusot lang yung boses mo. What goes in comes out. You don't hear that much of the dynamic mic na medyo parang the proximity effect na medyo malapit yung tunog. And then this one is what we have a lot of. So this is the general mic we normally use for everything. So this is the Audio-Technica 610MA. So it's very akin to the Shure Beta 58. We like it for two reasons. One, for my ears, mas maganda siya tumunog and mas mura. So this is a quick sound check. Hey, sound check. Test, hey, 1, 2. Between the three mics, there's a little bit of gain difference. In our experience, you need to put the gain down of the ND96 just a bit compared to these two mics. So really quickly, we'll also go through how we record the other instruments. So in general, I just like to use the MXR M80Di for all of the bass. All of the bass just goes through here, and it goes through XLR into our stage rack over there to have a clean signal. We have our direct boxes. These are used for any playback, acoustic guitar, or anything else that you might need. We like the sound of the Sennheiser cabinet mic. So in particular, we have the Sennheiser E906 right here. We have two of those. The other one's connected to our Vox AC30, and this one to the Fender Digital Amp Mustang GT200. Although most people prefer to have a twin reverb, we find that this is in general more versatile just because if you don't have a microphone ready, it can actually give you an XLR output directly and it gives you cleaner signal. So onto our drum set, we mic our drums very, very detailed. So for our overheads, we have two Sennheiser 914s or 915s if I'm not mistaken. We just got these secondhand, so these are 914s. So they are pencil condenser mics. We have what, in my opinion, the best sounding live tom mic. So we have Sennheiser 904s. We have two of them, and then normally you would have three, another one on the snare mic, but we have a different mic here. We have the Sennheiser 905, which in my opinion sounds better for snare. Since we upgraded from our Sennheiser 604s for the tom mics, we used one of them below here for the bottom snare, just so everything sounds fuller. And then here we just have a keyboard amp. In general, keyboard amps don't necessarily need preamps or anything, so we just usually use this as a monitor, and there's XLR outs to save you the hassle of using a direct box. Lastly, we have here again our another ND96, so the mic I talked about earlier, which actually has very good off-axis rejection, and we put it specifically for the drummer. So far, those who've used it say they really like it, and we're looking to test it with more people to see what other mics and other techniques we can use using these microphones. Lastly, we have our stage box where everything is recorded. And one thing we try to do different here in Minsan Studio is to make sure that the musician has a really good time performing, which is why we implement for all our gigs that we use in-ear monitors. So we have our in-ear monitor one here, and we have a rack here that houses another couple of them. Here we have our main mixing desk. We have our own Midas M32, and here are in-ear monitors. In our recent gig with Keiko Necesario, the Vowels They Orbit, and Muni Muni, we had all of the musicians on in-ear monitors with individual mixes in mono. It makes two things better. One is it quiets all of your stage sound, which leads to a better overall performance, better overall recording, and it makes it just easier to perform in general. And the other thing we actually found out, it makes it easier in terms of power consumption. You're using less on stage. You're using less of the monitors. We have two Mackie Thumb 12As, if I'm not mistaken here. And those are actually just for show. Just in case magloko yung in-ear monitors natin, we use these as backup. And the other thing that we found out, and I think ideally more bands would consider, is that it takes around the same time to tune in-ear monitors as it does to tune wedges or monitor speakers. So in my opinion, buying a set of in-ear monitors would be cheaper and better, and it makes much better sound for our performers and for our audience. And lastly, we just have a very simple setup for our FOH. We don't have anything special. These are just a couple of Alto Trooper, if I'm not mistaken. These are very cheap monitors. And as long as your stage volume is controlled, these are more than enough for about a venue of around 100 people. And then over on the sides, we have a couple more of Mackie Thumb 12As just to add to the whole experience. And that wraps up the very quick audio setup here at Minsan Studio. This studio is actually available for rehearsal for those bands who've worked with us at Minsan Studio. And if you're interested, just send us a message to learn more. Thank you.